Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how we can be able to display readings from sensors on a web page, but that sensor data is going to be stored in a database. In this case, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using ESP8266 as a client that will be making an HTTP post request to a PHP script so that we can be able to insert that data into a MySQL database, and then you can be able to retrieve that data and display it on a web page. This is rather an interesting project, and for those who don't have knowledge on maybe web development may have a problem with this kind of tutorial, but don't worry. In case you don't have knowledge of web development and design, then you just copy the code and follow the steps. You can easily get what I'm doing. Let's begin by creating the database. So this kind of project, you are going to be needing a host. So if you don't have a domain name and a hosting account, you're just going to be using a local host. For example, in my case, I'm going to be using a local host, so I'm going to be using Exam. So what I'm going to do is start my Exam panel here. Then from here, I need to access the database. To access that, you're going to go to your web browser, and you put the local, then you put my PHP myadmin. So that is going to take you to the panel where you can be able to see all the databases that you are going to be using. So in this case, I need to create a new database. To do that, you just go here to new, press new, then you give your database a name. I'll name mine MyTechTutor, then I will say create. So I have created the database here, but as you see, it's empty, so it has no information there. So to be able to input information, we need to write some SQL script here. So you press here, then I've already written the kind of code that is supposed to be here, so I'll be able to show you that code. So this is the kind of code you're going to be needing to create a table inside the database. So in that database, I want to create a table called sensor data, and that sensor data should have different values. Like here, I'm going to be putting the ID, then I'll be putting the kind of sensor I'm going to be using, then the location where I'm getting the values from, and then I'll be putting different values depending on the kind of sensor that you have, and also need a timestamp to tell me the current date and time. So let me just copy this, and then I paste it into the SQL here. And after that, you press go. So as you can see here, in the MyTechTutor database, we have created a new table called sensor data, and that table has ID, sensor, location. Then there are 3 different values because I'm going to be using a kind of sensor which reads mainly 3 different types of values. Then I'm going to be having the reading time, which is going to tell me the time at which the readings are being taken. So now we need to get a way of inserting data into the database. So to do that, I used another script here, PHP script. For those who are not very familiar with the coding or web development or PHP coding, you just follow along. Maybe you just copy the script and arrange the files as I will tell you. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to be using a server name. In my case, I'm using a local host, so I'll just put localhost. But if you are using a paid for domain and hosting service, then you can put your server name and then the username and the password. So since I'm using a local host, I'm just putting local, then the username is root. I didn't put any password, and I've created a database called MyTechTutor. Then I'm using this API key for security reasons. Let me not go too much into detail because this is not a web development lesson. I'm just showing you how we are going to be arranging the file. This PHP script will help us to post our data that we are going to be reading from the ESP8266 and place it into the database. I also need another PHP script. This one is going to act as our simple web page, where I'm going to be able to display the information on a simple web page that can be accessed maybe on the computer or your mobile phone. What we do here is now simple web development, so I will not go too much into the detail, but what this does is to get information from the database and display it into the web page. So those who know how to do web development, I think you can be able to follow this properly. So this is the index.php. It means that when you open this kind of website, so this code here is the one which is going to show you the information to be displayed. Then I also did some simple styling. Okay, All this code is going to be put in the link in the description below so that you can be able to have it around. For those who don't know how to do web development, I want to show you how to arrange these kind of files. So what you do, if you're using XAMPP, you go to htdocs, then I'll create a folder called sensor data, and inside that folder you make sure you have all these files here. Okay, this is the style sheet. Then you have the one for posting the data from the ESP8266. Then we have the index.php, which displays the information on the web page. And then we have the database code, which is a SQL script for creating the table in the database, which I've already shown you. So all these, you should have these three files in your folder for the sensor data so that you can be able to display the web page. So let's try to display that web page and see. So I go to my web browser here, then I will input local sensor data. Okay, so this is the kind of web page that is going to be displayed so that you can be able to read the ID, the date, the sensor we are using, the location, temperature, humidity, and then the pressure. Since we don't have any information in the database and then we have not connected any sensors on our ESP8266, then there is no information here. So what we need to do, we need to write the code for running the information on the ESP8266. So let me show you how that is also done. We are going to be using the Arduino IDE to write that data. I'm going to be using the BME280 sensor. The sensor can read the temperature, can read the humidity and the atmospheric pressure of a given place. So in my case, I've already talked about the introduction for how to create web servers using the ESP8266. So in case you don't have that information, you can check through my other tutorials where I've talked about this. You need these two libraries to be able to run that sensor. Then you also need the name for your Wi-Fi network and the password. And then remember, here we are using a domain name and URL path of the IP address with the PHP script for posting the information to the database. If you already have a paid for domain name and hosting account, what you do, you just put your domain name and URL path to the IP address here. But in my case, since I'm using a local host, I will need to have the IP address of my computer. To access the IP address, what you do, you simply go to the command prompt and then you simply type IP config, then enter. Then from here you can be able to read the IP address of your computer. You just use IPv4 address, then it's the one you're going to be using. Then you also the IP key, I already talked about this one. This one is for security purposes. Then I'll put the sensor name and the sensor location. These strings are going to be displayed in the web page. Then this other information is for using the BME280 sensor, which I've also already talked about, how to interface it with Arduino and the kind of necessary libraries. So you can also make reference from my other previous tutorials. So after writing this code, you can upload it into your ESP8266. I'm going to upload this code, then I'll go to the database and I'll show you what. As you can see here from the sensor data here, as you can see now, the moment you connect the sensor to the ESP8266, the information now begins showing here. So our sensor data is going to be shown. So this information will be updated after 15 seconds. And then you can even go and check in the database and see if these results are there. So if you check the sensor data table, so you see the results are being input in the table here, and then those results are also being displayed on the web page as shown here. This is very important if you want to keep on monitoring information from a sensor anywhere around the world, as long as you have internet connection. So from here, I can even be able to access this information maybe on a phone or any other device that can access information, as long as you have the IP address or the domain name. Now here I'm using a local host, so I can only be able to access it on this computer here. But in case I want to access this information maybe on another phone or another laptop, then I will need to get the IP address. I will change this. Instead of using the local host, you put the IP address of the computer that you are using. Then you can even try to access this information on a phone. So in the phone, what you are going to do, you are going to put, instead of using localhost, you are going to use the IP address of the computer that I'm using. Since I'm using a local computer, I'm not using a hosting service. So if you're using a hosting service, then you just put the domain name and the data will be input automatically. But if I want to see this information on the phone, then I'm going to be using the IP address, then slash sensor data, then the information is going to be displayed as you can see there. Hope you've learned something new. The main end of this tutorial was to give you the general working principle of how to be able to use the ESP as a client, post data into a database, and then how to be able to get that data from the database onto a web page. So I hope this was useful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to like my other tutorials. Thanks for watching.